Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And this will go. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
We go tonight. 180.
Now a draws. Goff gives to Gurley. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. And he stopped immediately there. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. This is Darrell Henderson, the rookie 3rd rounder. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
We go tonight. 180.
Tight right. Hey, 4 down.
DC.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Hey, kill.
Safety's creeping. Check safety.
Chopper.
Out of the gun, Goff, eluding the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Jared Goff with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson to throw. That's complete to Sterling. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, alert.
94 is the mark. I got you, pop. 94 is the mark.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
94 is the mark. Come on. You better.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. He got 29 yards that time. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's Wilson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the toss, it's Gurley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The corner, Perry Nickerson, had the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Like 20.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Check three. Hey, switch gears. Check. Lucky. Slam.
Value three.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. On the keeper, here's Goff. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Sean McVay's gamble does not pay off. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
12. Here we go, T. Here, rotate. 94 is the mic. 94 is the mic. Hey, watch the slant. Check 37.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Fair.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. On 3rd down, Carson. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. Hey, watch the line.
On 1st down, Wilson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. I'm trying to collect. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. It's been a long day for you. 94. Check.
Wilson going for the deep ball. And this will be caught at the 30. 33 yards that time. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Spot that. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. He was trying to go back to more there. And it's 3rd and short.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
Took right.
58's the money. 58's the money.
So don't say nothing.
To throw again is Wilson. It's caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Moore, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, here's Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. We got 4.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go, baby.
So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I got him. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Everyone, we got 4 down.
Check.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
Rush. And rush the ball.
58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. Big stop, D.
Now it's Wilson. That one is caught by Hunt. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
The first time I saw Marcus Peters is in a practice session when he's at the University of Washington. And I literally was watching someone else, and my eyes kept going to him. I thought he played the corner position with extreme intelligence, even as an undergrad there.
What year was that?
It would have been his sophomore year at Washington, and he's carried over those same playmaking skills to the NFL, and we just saw him knock one away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Go. 94 is the mark. 94 is the let's go. Get this, boys. You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? 94 is the mark.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case,
and he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Ezekiel Ansah. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Stop right there. 4 down. Check.
Back to throw. Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Here goes tonight. 180.
Watch tight end. 4 down.
3rd and long. It's Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Returnable here for Davis. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football, and he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 7, Goff wants a screen pass. That's complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Zuerlein's kick is good. Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson now to throw again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Watch the safety creep. Good job right there. Good job right there. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. Guys, listen. Let's see what you got.
So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Wilson operating from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. He's tired of Tempo.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down.
Again, Wilson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are going to jump back in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be...
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Clay Matthews. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
It's just me and you.
From the gun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about two. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well. And they free kick it from the 20 now. Fielded at the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Wilson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. This is Carson. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Single, now single the slot. Check three. Man left.
94 is the mark.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Good track.
94.
Now Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A.
Let's go touchdown, baby. Let's go.
Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
things
interception.
for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Michael Brockers in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To throw is Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
I know you felt that one.
The Seahawks on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. There's Wilson to throw. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be 4th down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
Green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot. You'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate.